game at times. It got a little out of hand with the technicals and helped Joel get some points. I was worried last night. I felt like junk, and Joel felt like junk. And, I was just hoping he'd be able to play better than I could coach. He got 2 IVs today. I got 2 IVs today. He was able to play and probably played better than I coached. But we need him to get healthy so we can get some things out of him. At the same time, he thought Kennedy early and Justin Jackson shooting from the 3-point line. And after that, I wasn't very pleased with much of the stuff. 17 turnovers, 11 turnovers in the second half. It was frustrating, but King's guys, 10, 11, 12, Seabaum, Hornbeck, excuse me, and Robinson, those are the 3 guys we talked about in halftime. They were the only 3 guys that scored, so we hadn't done a very good job defensively on them. But they missed some shots in the second half. We did a great job rebounding it. But you look down there, and North Carolina has 4 points on fast breaks, and they've got 20 or whatever it was, 14, excuse me. That's not very pleasant, but some of us didn't feel well. We got through with the W, and we got to start playing a heck of a lot better now because it's a different ball game now.
Did you get a chance to talk to King after the game? He was pretty emotional in here.
He's a great guy, great kid. He's still a kid to me because I'm so old, but I remember recruiting him 100 years ago and thought he's one of the toughest kids I'd ever been around. We've had some good heart-to-heart talks. My first year back here, he was in town. Hoover Davis was in town, and they came and played pickup with our guys almost every day. Practice started, and they played against our guys, and they set the tone for my entire 14 years here. He's a competitive rascal, and what he did last year, they beat Notre Dame, they beat UCLA, they beat USC. They had more road wins than anybody else in college basketball last year, and it's just the way its system is set up that they didn't make the tournament. But they had won 38 games up until this point, I think, counting last year. So extremely proud of him. He's a great, great guy. He got a little frustrated with the officials, and that took a great deal away from what I hoped would be a great experience for him.
Coach, you talked about Kennedy early. How much does he help set the tone when he comes out with 8 points in the first couple minutes?
Well, we need to get the ball inside. It opens it up better for the guys to shoot from the outside. And then Justin started making some, and we started just taking bad shots. Again, the frustrating thing to me was that all the turnovers and defensively just keep the ball in front of it. It's not nuclear science, and just keep the ball in front of it. If you do that, you're going to help your defense. But we do need Kennedy to come out like that. He's 7 for 12, and he probably missed 2 or 3 in there close that he can make a lot of times. But I like 17 points and 12 rebounds, and that's important to us.
Did the layoff have anything to do with it, or might you attribute the ugly stretches to?
I have no idea. If I could figure it out, we probably would have played that way. But we came back on Monday, had a little practice Monday. Joel got sick, didn't practice on Tuesday. I was sick as a dog, didn't feel like practicing, didn't feel like coaching, but I'm sure the layoff, but Monmouth had a layoff too. I think they played the same day that we did before Christmas, or maybe one day earlier, but that's all.
Roy, with Kennedy, do you find yourself at all maybe having to needle him in some of the same ways that you did Bryce last year?
Needle him or beg him, which word you want to use. It's a little bit of both. But I was really pleased. Game the other day, against Wisconsin, I said he was the best player on the floor. But I think the game the other day, he really did some really good things defensively that helped us. And I think early on he did some really good things for us today offensively.
Coach, back to King, a lot of coaches don't like playing former players or assistants. You seem to embrace it. Why is that?
No, I don't like it at all. But they want to do it because it helps their program, and or they want the money for their program. I think I'll always give King more money than I give anybody else. It's not a former player. But during the game, I try not to look at the other team's bench hardly at all. And I started that in 1991 when I was playing against Coach Smith, or coaching against Coach Smith in the Final Four. Once the game started, I never looked at their bench. And that way I can coach the game and do what I'm supposed to do. And then as soon as it's over with, though, you look at that guy, it's like Jared down in Birmingham. I mean, they beat us. And he was almost apologizing to me. So at that moment, I hate it. But whoever's been in the state, if they ask about playing, I try to do what they want to do because it does help them, the exposure, and it does help them because I give more money than I give anybody else.
Roy, understanding that you always want to be better, how comfortable are you now going into ACC, where this team is?
I was a lot more comfortable, our last game after the second half, because I thought against Northern Iowa, we really did some good things. It was Northern Iowa last week. I thought we really did some good things in the second half there. I don't feel quite as good right now. You know, we gave, everybody had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, and then we came back and practiced Monday and then yesterday, but whether I like it or not, it's here. You know, we lost 2 games, and I think we had a chance to win both games, and that's what I'm disappointed in, but it's what it is. Okay.
How concerned
Last
are
one.
you? Go ahead.
Two more IVs than any of us, so last one.
Go ahead.
How much did Theo practice the last 2 days, and how much closer is he to coming back than he was a week ago?
Today, he got in dummy offense, is the only thing he's done, other than run up and down and lay it up and talk. He hadn't guarded anybody, he hadn't been guarded by anybody, he did dummy offense today. And I said, Theo, you get in here and do dummy offense, and it's appropriately named.
Class, well, I'll ask one of the comments.